Yo Flex Nation, welcome back. So you guys know how we do. We always start it off with the comment of the day, and it's coming in from Lord Potato, and he says, after founding you yesterday, I looked at so many videos and you're starting to love your channel. Keep up the good work, man. Hard work always pays off. Number one, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And number two, thank you so much for the kind words. Honestly, it means so much to me to basically, just create content that you guys are actually enjoying, and honestly, it's just one of the best feelings ever. And thank you guys so much for the continued support, and every day just come back to my channel and watching a little crappy vid that I make, but for some reason you guys like him, so thanks anyway, guys. Right, now we've got that out of the way. Although today's video is going to be related to Warzone, it's not going to be my usual Warzone video where I rage and stuff like that. I'm actually going to be talking about Warzone and the issues that it has and how it can actually improve for Halo 6. Honestly, I don't even know where to start with this video, but there's just the number one things that need fixing with Warzone on Halo 5 currently, and I'm going to basically just tell you guys what they are right now. So basically, one of the personal issues that I've been experiencing so far is how long it actually takes me to find a game in Warzone. Like, literally took me about 30 minutes the other day just to find one game, and honestly, for a game to take that long just to search is honestly ridiculous. And I know MCC has that sort of similar issue, but for Halo 5 to have the exact same issue as well is not good at all. Then we have the usual glitches such as not being able to spawn in your Rex, falling through the map when you spawn in the vehicle bay and stuff like that. Honestly, those things need to go as well. Now, another issue is the actual Rex themselves. Now, due to microtransactions, obviously the Rex have to be in the game. The whole debate about microtransactions is for another video, but when it comes to the Rex, honestly, I don't think the way they are in Warzone is good at all. So let me put this in a bigger picture. So say, for example, you've literally just bought Halo 5 and you go to play Warzone right now. The people that you're going to face are all going to have Norn Fangs, Answers, the Halo 2 Beam Rifle Delta, Tartarus Gravels, all these awesome weapons because they've owned the game a lot longer than someone who's just literally bought the game. Now, obviously, when you get put in that situation, you're going to be using basic weapons such as the Assault Rifle, Pistol, BR, and that's probably it. And maybe the DMR and SMG if lucky. Now, being in that situation is very bad because it actually rejects the new players actually wanting to play Warzone. Obviously, spawning in a game when the other team has OP weapons is not enjoyable at all. Trust me, I've been in that exact situation and it's not nice at all. Then we have the AI. Honestly, if you took them out or kept her in the game, they wouldn't play that much difference to Warzone. The only thing that's good about the AI is when you're pretty much like basically 100 points down and you go to kill the Warden Eternal or the Grunt Mech and you guys can win the game through that way as well. But other than that, the AI are pretty useless when it comes to Warzone. And another thing that really frustrates players is actually dying with a wreck and not being able to get it back. I've experienced this numerous times. I've possibly died with a Norn Fang, and because I spawned so far away, I can't actually get back to it and it either despawns or someone else picks it up. Obviously, just being in that situation is very frustrating to say the least, and trust me, that's another thing that's pushing players away from playing Warzone. Now, how can it improve for Halo 6? Now, if we were to put microtransactions aside and everything else, if this was my perfect Warzone game, I would literally take out all the Rex and basically only put base default weapons across the whole of the map. But unfortunately, that isn't the case, and somehow Rex do need to be implemented. If they were to do something like this, I would actually have weapons scattered across the map. So say, for example, there's 2 snipers on either side of the map, maybe 2 grenade launchers, maybe some rockets somewhere, a DMR and stuff like that, and pretty much you have weapons that you have to pick up throughout the map. So essentially, it's like a very larger scale of BTB. Not only would it instantly fix the balancing issues, but it gives everyone a fair chance to actually play the game as well. And then for those people who want to use those special OP weapons such as the Norn Fang, Tartarus Gravel, the Spanker Prime and stuff like that, those weapons would spawn in the middle of the map, and basically you guys have to try and go in a head-to-head face-off to try and get that main weapon. So obviously red team and blue team, there's only one special weapon to get, which could be the Norn Fang on a certain map, and which could be the Prophet's Bane on a certain map, which could be the Spanker Prime on a certain map, and basically that main weapon can only go to one team, obviously because there's only one. That way it forces you to use teamwork to try and get those certain weapons to give you an advantage over the other team, rather than spawning in 12 Banshees and absolutely destroying them that way. So since we're on the topic of vehicles, I think vehicles should be limited to only 4 vehicles at a time. If they were to take tips from Battlefield, maybe there can be only a certain variation of vehicles that could spawn in at a time. So say, for example, you can only have 1 Wasp and 1 Banshee at a time, and maybe Warthogs and Gungooses and Mongooses can always spawn in repetitively, and also Ghosts as well. That way, it prevents the possibility of having so many vehicles spawn in at once. I feel like this would be very beneficial because games such as Halo Reach use this sort of method where you only had a certain amount of vehicles that could spawn at a certain amount of time, and it caused a really good level of balance throughout the whole game. And that way, 343 can still implement different variations of those same Rex for those certain vehicles. So you could obviously have the Oni Scorpion, or you could have the Hannibal Scorpion, or the Mantis, or the Hannibal Mantis, or whatever, and so on. Obviously, for each map, it could be a different variation. That way as well, it can give 343 the chance to implement the rock, paper, scissors method where each weapon or each vehicle counteracts another. I feel like that would be a very positive aspect towards the game because it wouldn't make certain weapons obsolete and it wouldn't make them too overpowered as well. And overall with this implementation, hopefully you get the vibe that it's a larger scaled BTB map. Not only that, but I feel like there needs to be more immersion when you're playing Warzone. Like you need to physically feel like you're actually in the battlefield with things going on around you, you know, all these different like drop pods crashing in with all the AIs and enemies. There needs to be so much more going on in the map to make it feel more immersive. A bit like with Star Wars Battlefront, and that feels so immersive when you play. You literally feel like you're actually, you know, on the planet, you're actually fighting in the battlefield, and that's what I love about Battlefield and everything else. Is so much action going on, whereas with Warzone it feels so dull and boring, and it just like, I'm just like, what is going on? Like literally it just feels like I'm getting spawn trapped by 12 different banshees, and it's just not enjoyable to play at all. That way, if they included that immersion of different drop pods and stuff like that, it would make the game 10 times better. But yeah, just imagine this, instead of the AI just teleporting into the game, maybe they could actually spawn in a drop pod and you have two blue and red guys fighting off each other, and then all of a sudden this drop pod just comes crashing down next to you, and that could literally just change the immersion of the game, and that would be absolutely just, it would be crazy, because then you actually feel like you're in the battlefield with all these, you know, crashing drop pods and all these explosions everywhere. And I know it sounds a bit like Michael Bay, but overall that would just create a much more physically, you know, appealing game to play, rather than something that's so boring and dull where it's just literally, oh, there's a guy with a blood of Suban, let's kill him. Oh, there's a guy with a sniper, let's kill him. Oh look, there's a banshee in the sky, oh wait, I'm dead. You know, it's so boring, and I feel like we need much more action happening and more things going on while you're playing the game. Not only that, but you all know that AI need a bit more engagement when it comes to the actual game itself. Right now, all that happens is that the AI gets spawned to a certain section of the map, and you're forced to go to that section if you want to fight them. Whereas I believe the AI should come to you. So basically it creates a much more action-packed gameplay where you're actually fighting the blue team or the red team alongside with the AI as well. To further add to this, once you capture a base from the AI, maybe they can try and capture the base back, and that could literally change the whole course of the game, because that actually prevents the team from earning a certain amount of points. So not only are you fighting the AI, but then you've also got the other team to try and focus on as well. Now moving on to the maps, I feel like the maps can definitely improve by making them more diverse and less symmetrical. It's literally like they just placed 5 different bases across the whole map. Obviously you have the 2 home bases, then the West Armory and East Armory, and then the base in the middle. For me that's just too boring, and they need to try and adapt it in some possible way. The way I see it, they should take some tips from BF3 and BF4's game mode called Conquest and make the maps much more diverse rather than it being so symmetrical, because that way you're creating gameplay which is actually unpredictable rather than actually being predictable. Not only having bases randomly scattered across the map, but also having the actual map designed on a campaign mission would be perfect, because I feel like at the moment it's very random. Although some of them are still based on the campaign, I feel like it's been very rushed and undeveloped. Not only that, but the maps are too open in some areas, and it makes it impossible to get from A to B without getting sniped in the face. So therefore they should implement more structures to hide behind or more buildings to go into to try and create that gameplay which isn't just getting sniped in the face 24/7. So if it is down to me, that would be all the things that I'd improve and implement when it comes to Halo 6. Obviously 343, you don't need to take this advice on, but this is just some constructive criticism as how you can improve this game mode for Halo 6. Hopefully you guys do agree with some of the points that I covered in this video. Overall for Halo 5 currently, if they could just possibly fix the glitches in the game, that would be perfect. And not only that, but I'll also be covering videos for how Warzone Firefight and Warzone Assault can improve for Halo 6 as well. Anyway guys, if you have any different thoughts and opinions from me, make sure to put it in the comment section below. Also make sure to destroy that like button and subscribe if you haven't joined the Flex Nation already. And yeah, it's been Reflex guys, and we'll see you soon. Peace.